Hi, welcome to the Pur'N'Kleen Podcast, episode number 30. My name is Rommel, and I don't want to grow my org. Yesterday, I got a message on the RSI org messaging system from a spy organization asking me how I plan to grow my org, or how I plan to grow Pur'N'Kleen company. I don't want to grow my org, not because I'm afraid of success, but because success to me means having fun and being able to do what needs to be done without having to manage dozens of or even hundreds of nerds. For me specifically, being in an org with more than 50 members is not an org I want to be a part of. So when I created Pur'N'Kleen, I created the organization that I wanted to be a part of, that I thought would be fun, and that I thought would be cool to run. Take, for example, this podcast. I could grow it by doing giveaways like many content creators, or I could choose to have a broader range of more accessible topics to appeal to a wider audience. And then I could list it on iTunes and Google Play and SoundCloud and manage reviews and try and get positive reviews and sign distribution contracts and be active and on social media and ask for retweets and try to make CIG's MVP list and do all kinds of stuff to grow the podcast. But then I would be responsible for doing all of that, and I simply do not want to. To me, this podcast is a fun way to learn and discuss business topics in the context of Star Citizen, and it also happens to help me with managing the Pur'N'Kleen organization by becoming an expert on these topics. But that's about it. It's fun for me. I am very honored that people listen to this podcast each week, and I think the podcast provides a valuable service, as people have told me as such, but I don't aspire to be featured by CIG on their website. I don't care. I'm not doing it for CIG. Now, don't get me wrong. It's not that growing an org is bad or evil or wrong. It's an awesome and great thing to do for some people. I know a lot of people who run big organizations and they love it. They get off on managing hundreds of people and telling them what to do. But I know myself enough that I know that's not me. I know that for me, I'm good at doing things rather than telling people how to do things. I don't want to learn or become better at delegating things. I like leading by example. But you simply cannot do it if the org is doing too many things at once, which tends to happen in large, unfocused organizations. My definition of success involves not growing past a certain point, which we're aiming around 30 or 50 members or so for the Pur'N'Kleen company. Recently, Pur'N'Kleen company finished its business plan, and impact was part of our main or core values. It states, "We grow and accomplish amazing amount of important work. We demonstrate consistently strong performance so both colleagues and customers can rely upon us. We focus on great results rather than on the process and have a bias for action." So that's what we're going for. At Pur'N'Kleen, we strive to do more with less. We strive to be lean and efficient. We don't just grow for the sake of growth, but we become more impactful with the members that we do have. And guess what? It's more profitable that way. Each individual contributor gets a larger slice of the pie than in the large organizations that perhaps have lots of revenue, way more than we can possibly strive for, but they have to split it with all their members, and that will lead to resentment. Another important measure of success to me is the human aspect of it. I consider it a success when I can make a positive contribution to someone's life, even on something as trivial as a video game. This includes all members of Pur'N'Kleen. I legitimately think about every member of Pur'N'Kleen and whether or not they are engaged and having fun and accomplishing whatever goals they want to accomplish, in or out of game. I spend a great deal of time thinking about how to structure the org so that everybody is getting what they want. For example, when I first started Pur'N'Kleen, it was going to be an org mainly around fuel and fuel refining. But as I talked to some of the members of the org, and this was a process that took us about 1 or 2 months, we decided that the best way to leverage everyone's ships was to offer a more complete logistical product. This way, I can still focus on fuel and other members can focus on repair and exploration or even playing solo. But as a whole, as a company, we're still selling one core product to our customers. To be clear, Pur'N'Kleen has grown and will continue to grow in the future. I am not trying to say that we are against growth, but rather that impact and fun is more important than growth. If we find a way to maintain our core values while growing, then we will do just that. Thank you for listening. The Pur'N'Kleen Podcast is a free Star Citizen podcast aimed at tackling the business side of the verse. Thank you for your likes, comments, and subscriptions, and I will see you next Monday. The day I'm recording this, it's Monday, October 10th. It's been a few hours after CitizenCon, and we are now officially disengaging the hype drive. I thought it was a pretty good presentation.